Hey guys, I got a couple of requests on how to do some center post builds, so I'm going to show you how I do mine. Now what I do is I use a single strand to do both coils. I find that it actually makes the center post build much easier instead of using two separate coils. We're going to be building today on a 1/8 drill bit using Gplat 22 standard on my EP Mods Insignia and a Mephisto. So I cut about 8 or 10 inches of this stuff. I love using it, I think it tastes great, and we'll continue to use it. When I wrap a coil, I get this guy 90-degree angle, and then I'll turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. Okay? And then I will straighten this guy out. And that's our coil, nice and quick. Now when you wrap a coil, you always have this thing happen. So what I like to do is to take the longer lead and bend it down until it's like this. Then I'll take these guys while still on the drill bit and just sort of bend it back. So I have that going on right there. That way both leads are on the same level. Next we're going to put the coil into the Mephisto. I'm going to put the longer lead through the center post. And put the shorter one in there. Make sure your locking ring is back on. Reinsert the drill bit through here. Bring it out to a comfortable distance, and I get my thumb and I just push over a little bit. Hold it in place so it's right there. And get a screwdriver. On this guy we need to sort of tighten him down just a little bit with your finger. And that's where I have it right now. It's actually nice and close. So I'll back it up just a little bit, and you see how that positive lead is at a diagonal. Just a slight one. Okay? And we're going to tighten down the negative post. Cut, and that's where I have this one. Nothing special, but it's in the center. Okay, don't worry about the slack here on the side. Let's work on building the second one. Alright, so this is going to be tricky because usually I hold my mod between my knees when I do it, so I'm going to try and show you how I do it on camera. Alright, here I go. Can hold it here. And I'm about 3/4 of an inch away from the center post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squish them together. So this is what I'm working with right now. I'm gonna get my needle nose pliers. I'm gonna hold this guy right about here. I get my drill bit. And get my fingers like this. And I'm going to push down. And it's going to sort of cinch up all that slack. And here we go. So there's my guys right there, okay? They don't have to look pretty yet. So I'll even back it out a little bit, and when I do, it straightens out the negative lead. So I'll push it over to this side, pull this back, and there we go, just like that. Take the clippers, cut this guy off right at about here. Push it together, back this out, and pull it away a little bit. Needle nose, stuff it through. There you go. Comes out the other end. There's not a real big to do. You have to about pulling a lot of excess wire through it because it doesn't do you any good. So if you cut it shorter, it makes your whole job a lot easier. Now I straighten this guy back out a little bit, get the needle nose here, and I'm just going to push with my thumb just like this and watch what happens to the coil. Nice and tight. Now it's always easier to untighten a coil than to tighten it. So what I'm going to do is kind of grab it like this and just pull it away a little bit. And it's starting to go towards the center as well. Then I'll get the screwdriver right here and I'll sort of push down a little bit. Oh, work for me. And push down again. Oop. So it kind of creases it a little bit. You see that right there? Now what I can do is push the coil back up against the center post, and that should bend right there. Oh, good. See how it kind of creased it right there? What I'm going to do now is get this guy, squeeze them together, and it should push that coil back up to the negative, to the positive post. And then pull it back down and move it around in the center. Word. Tighten this guy back up, snip. That's what we have right now. And it's a little ugly, so let's fix it. Squeeze it together without firing, okay guys? Without firing. This thing, these negatives, what I'll do is I'm going to grab them and I'm going to move in a clockwise motion and towards the center post. So check this out. Okay. Clockwise and towards the center. Like that. And you get the needle nose back in there. And you tighten them up. Really important thing when you're putting these coils and installing them in, you want to make sure that your air holes are level with your coils. Now obviously these are way too high, so what we want to do is bring them down right about to the height of the deck. Put it in, pull it down. That's all you got to do. Now those guys are right in line with your air. It's going to give you the best flavor and the best production. And that is what the top looks like. So with Gplat, when you're pulsing this stuff, don't hold down. Literally pulse it. Pop, 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 pop. And what you want to do is bring your coils initially up to temperature. So watch what happens here. Okay. Don't hold down. Whatever you don't hold down. Once it's orange like that, then squeeze it. And as you do this more, it will start to glow a little more even. Heats up nice and even as well, for the most part. Just a side note, all the Gplat, once you start hitting it, it goes from like this really shiny color to more of like a heat-treated rainbow, and then it'll turn ultimately almost like a brass. And then after you heat it up even more, and you cycle that coil a bit, it ends up turning a gray. And so what you want is your coil to look gray after all is said and done. So 5 wraps of Gplat 22 standard on a 1/8 drill bit comes out to 0.10. This is my all-day vape. This is what I use almost 90% of the time. Whenever you guys see me blowing clouds, making other videos, anything like that, this is probably my most comfortable and one of my most effective coils that I personally like to use. So I know a couple of you guys have seen the cotton wicking video. If you haven't, I'm putting a link to it in the description of the video right now, but I'm not going to go through all that. Pop it, unroll it, throw the ends away, pet it, roll it, twist it up, and pull it in half. Yeah. Ta-da! So this is the cotton I have here in those coils. You can see it's pretty reasonably centered. A good sort of way to measure this stuff I've found is it is twice your depth length. So from essentially this end to this end, make this length almost twice that long. That's a good way to sort of ballpark it. So tuck from the back and underneath. If anybody's seen my other videos, you know that I like to have all my cotton tucked in, and I don't like any cotton underneath the center part of the coil. So I push that all the way against the post. And this is what we have. Our spider eggs. Our vape bow ties. Not bad. The purpose of a center post build is really to sort of equalize the amount of cotton on the left and the right sides, so you don't have one that's kinked, because bent cotton typically doesn't wick as well. So let's get this thing wet and see how it goes. Yeah, looks like it's working. Good, 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 good. So that's my build for you guys. This is what I like. This is what I found works best for me. I hope that it helps you guys. Let me hit this a couple times because I haven't even vaped it. Make sure your air holes are right in line with your coils. Center post builds. Wick. That's about it.